All right, moving right along. We got our rope climb stage for tactical games. I believe this was on practice scored stage 5. No, yes, on practice scored stage 5. It's actually what we did for stage 4. Doesn't really matter. I forget the name. I think it's called When the Levee Breaks. Naming convention, not really sure why, but here we go. So essentially what this stage was, you started down here and you finished up here. So on the call of go, it's essentially 5 rounds for time of a front rack fat bar carry, about 20 yards. So you would pick up your fat bar, you'd carry it front rack up to the rig. You would then do 2 rope climbs at 15 feet, okay? And then you would grab your magazines, but that's not in the list here. Then you'd front rack back, drop the bar, and then perform your firing sequence, right? So it's 5 rounds of that. So you're gonna call of go, beep, front rack the bar, walk it 20 feet, drop, or 20 feet, 20 yards, 25, whatever. Drop it, perform 2 rope climbs, 1, 2, grab your magazines, come back, front rack that bar back to the firing line, drop the bar, shoot your shots 5 times. After you finish your shots, then you're gonna start again with the front rack back to the rig to then get your magazines that comes back. So very, very simple workout. Your loadout was 5 mags of 8 rifle and 5 mags of 8 pistol. Your rifle target, actually I'll start with pistol first actually. Your pistol target was this target at about 9 to 10 yards. So they're like 2.5-inch circles, something like that. Your rifle target, so again, to back up, we have 5 targets here. So you have 5 mags, you're gonna try to put 8 in every circle. That's what they're looking for. Your rifle target, on the other hand, were these 2 triangles, a regular triangle and an inverted triangle at 37 yards. You might say, okay, well, we have 2 targets and we have a total of 40 rounds, but 5 different magazines. They're looking for 20 hits in each triangle, right? So what a lot of us did was the first magazine, I shot 4 up here and shot 4 up here. And then after that magazine, then the rest of the magazines, I would go magazine 2, magazine 3, magazine 4, magazine 5. And that would be kind of the goal. Makes it easy for counting. The shooting sequence, we actually shot from a barrier. We essentially had it was like yay high, and it was just shooting on top of a barrier. So you didn't have to do the pistol. The pistol I stood unsupported, freestyle, whatever you want to call it. But the rifle, obviously I'm going to use that barrier, lean up against it, get a good position, take my time, and then take my shots on target. Let's talk about how I approach it. This was a 12-minute time cap. I'm gonna use a different color for you guys. 12-minute time cap. From the men's elite perspective, not many guys finished it because the rope climbs burned them out. There's too many rope climbs for them. There's a total of 10 rope climbs, and 10 rope climbs is a lot, especially if you're doing a lot of front rack. So you're doing front rack, and then you're trying to use your biceps again to pull up the rope, and your heart rate's kind of spike. You're trying to lower it when you shoot. A lot of guys got burned out. They had a sub, so there's like a little extra bar here. Bar was probably at bar's probably 4 foot high. There's a bar off to the side of the rope that if you could not do rope climbs, you could sub it out with 5 hand release burpees over the 4 foot bar. So, if you were like, oh, I can't climb this rope anymore, I'm failing, then you would just slide on over, do a burpee, hand release on the ground, jump over the bar. If that's 1 rep, you do 4 more of those for a total of 1 rope climb repetition completed. So it was essentially a 5-to-1 ratio. So if you couldn't do 2 rope climbs, then you're of course doing 10 of those hand release burpees over bar. Personal opinion, I get why that's there. I don't really want people to just stand there and do nothing. That's not fun. Personal opinion though, if you are in men's elite or women's elite, you should be able to climb a rope. If you can't climb a rope, probably need to go to a different division. If you're gonna sit there and stare at it, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna stare at it. I didn't really like that they had a substitution there. I think every other division had a substitution that was 3-to-1, right? Because a lot of divisions just make the Masters women a lot of them could climb ropes, but not really expecting it as much. And I think that division actually only had 1 rope climb instead of 2. But for the elite division, suck it up, Buttercup. You need to learn how to climb a rope. I don't know what else to tell you there. You need to learn how to climb a rope. And if you can't climb a rope, you're going to sit there and you're going to stare at it until you either figure it out or you get your feeling back in your upper body to climb the rope, or you're going to get time capped. There were quite a few guys that actually subbed out the rope climbs, but to be honest, like a 5-to-1 ratio comparison here, that's gonna spike your heart rate so much. I'd rather do 1 rope climb than 5 hang release burpees over a bar. So as soon as the guys couldn't get a rope climb or whatever the case was, and they would jump to this substitution, they were not gonna finish the workout because it's like that. This is way longer. So it was a good sub for that reason. I get why they have it. It's a good sub, but as soon as they switched to this, there was just no way they were gonna finish the workout in the time cap. So time cap, like I mentioned, was 12 minutes. I think only about 3 or 4 of us men's elite actually finished in the time cap. My time was, I believe, 7:05. In terms of drop shots, I dropped 5 pistol. So right over here. I dropped 5 pistol and I dropped 3 rifle. I should not have dropped any rifle, but because they were such easy shots for rifle, I was just mowing through them pretty quickly. I just kind of decided to just test it and send it a little bit. My goal going into this, I wasn't really sure what my goal was. So I did the first round. I essentially said, I'm gonna start the first round, see how I feel at the end of the first round, and then kind of go from feel there. My first round was a 130. So I did the first round, meaning I did front right carry, 2 rope climbs, front right carry, firing sequence in 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I thought, you know what? I'm not entirely winded. This isn't bad. I'll continue 130s. So I kept 130 paces the whole time. I believe my time was actually 7:12, I think. Same thing, but whatever. I kept 130 paces the whole time. I finished at 7:12. If you extrapolate the 130 rounds out, that's actually 7:30. So my final round was actually faster, or my final couple rounds were faster than 130. Therefore, I finished below the 7:30 for that time domain. I think the next closest time was 10 minutes. And I don't know what their drop misses were for that. So for this workout, one big thing I noticed a lot of people doing that you need to practice is, you might know how to climb a rope. You're like, oh yeah, I know how to climb a rope. Like I feel really confident climbing a rope. That's awesome, okay? Cool, good for you. Learn how to climb a rope efficiently and effectively. As soon as I put weight on you, whether it be a plate carrier or a ruck or whatever the case may be, because we had a plate carrier for this, where we have a 15-pound plate carrier. As soon as I put a plate carrier on you, it really opens your eyes to be like, okay, you thought you were good at climbing rope, but you're really not because you're not pinching correctly. When you're doing just body weight, like you can get away with some really crappy like foot clamps on the rope, but as soon as I put weight on your body, those foot clamps that might be crappy get just completely exposed because now you're like trying to climb a rope and you're like sliding back down. There's a lot of men's elite and women's elite that I saw that should be phenomenal athletes on a rope, and I'm sure they can absolutely crush 10 rope climbs for time on body weight. But as soon as I put 15 pounds on them, 15 pounds of non-usable muscle, 15 pounds of non-usable mass on their body, that really subpar clamp they have that works for body weight does not work anymore because that weight is just dragging them down. So they're climbing up the rope and they're like, for every like foot or 2 foot they gain, they're like sliding down 6 inches. So, foot clamp. You need to learn a solid foot clamp. I've got videos in the Facebook group, but you need to learn a solid foot clamp on how to climb a rope with a plate carrier because that's going to be key to making sure you can finish a workout like this. Last thing to note, the the front rack fat bar we used was 160 pounds for the men's elite. For the women's, probably 100 pounds, something like that. That's not heavy. That's pretty light. Yeah, so that was the rope climb workout. That was a really, really fun one. I think I got first overall in men's elite. So that's a fun one. We only have one more, event 6. Let's get to it.